Number one, lack of training. Lack of training is a huge reason for dog surrender. And this is not just Dogo Argentino dogs, it's dogs across the board. People do not train the dog and then they are thinking that the dog is either dumb or obstinate or purposely trying to spite them because they haven't put in the training necessary to make the dog a good companion. Dogs need structure. They need a very strong leader, these dogs in particular. So if pulling on the leash and potty training and food aggression and you're having those kinds of problems are from lack of leadership and lack of training, and all of those can be addressed in 99% of all dogs. There is a small percentage where the dog is either poorly bred, they had two adults with poor temperaments, or the dog is too far gone to save. It's very rare. But lack of training is the number one reason that people surrender their dogs. So make sure that you build in a training and socialization regimen that you start from the day you get the dog and you end the day the dog passes the rainbow bridge. You need to do it the whole time. Number two, lifestyle change. People don't imagine that their life is going to change, but unwanted, unexpected, chaotic change happens in every life at some point. Perhaps that might manifest in your life as a divorce, loss of a job, or promotion at a job that requires a lot different types of responsibilities than you had before, getting pregnant. Perhaps you were single and you met somebody and that person has children and the amount of time that you have available is less. So lifestyle change is the number two reason that people surrender Dogo Argentino dogs. Number three, moving. So you'll see this quite frequently in the military. They get shifted around the country. Sometimes they get sent out of country and you can't always take a dog with you. So moving can be a big problem with a dog that has very specific needs, like the Dogo Argentino dog, which is a large, muscular, white hunting dog that requires extensive, exhaustive daily exercise and ongoing socialization and training. 4, not enough time. They underestimated how much time it was going to take to have this dog in their lives. I love my dogs. They are my number one hobby. I spend most of my free times on my dogs, but they take a ton of time. They take a lot of exercise time. Out of the 365 days a year, I am probably hiking 360 of those days. I have legs of iron. I do a lot of hiking with my dogs. But if I didn't have a lifestyle that supported that, this would be a bad breed for me, and maybe you don't have enough time to deal with a special needs animal. They're beautiful, they're majestic, in which case you should concentrate on appreciating them. Watch videos, enjoy them, but maybe not in your home. Cost of ownership. 5. Cost of ownership. People underestimate how much it's going to cost to own this dog. I am very, very fortunate that I have a disabled family member that lives with me, and that cuts down on some of my costs because I don't have to pay a doggy daycare cost. I don't have to pay professional dog walkers regularly. Occasionally I do, but not regularly. The cost of ownership of the Dogo Argentino dog is high. I spend $400 to $500 per dog annually on things like fecal tests, heartworm tests, blood work, their general checkup, shots I often give myself, but not always. Depends on whether they're there when they need one. If they do, I'll let the vet do it a lot of times, but I do have a video on cutting down costs, but this is an expensive breed. I'm not going to lie. The cost of the dog is relatively high in general. I've seen them as low as $1,000. I've seen them as high as $7,500 for a puppy, and I've seen them even higher than that, actually up to $10,000 if you were getting them from someone who has a particular reputation. So the cost of the dog is high, but the cost of the dog is nothing compared to the cost you're going to spend feeding, training, caring for that dog if you're doing it the right way. So the cost of ownership is very high. Number 6, health issues. A lot of people will end up surrendering a Dogo Argentino dog because it develops health issues. And those could be acute, like the dog is in the woods, it breaks a leg by sticking it down a rabbit hole when it's running and doesn't see it. They can be ongoing, and allergies is a huge cost connected to many Dogo Argentino dogs that suffer from allergies. And if you don't know that, Dogo Argentinos are prone to terrible, awful allergies. and it is a very big problem. And it is unfortunately perpetuated because people are breeding animals that already have allergies. Allergies are genetic in nature. They pass that gene on, and it's exploded in the population. It's crazy. Allergies, a huge, huge problem. So the cost of that can be incredibly high if you're having to give your dog shots every week or every month. If you're having to have special diets, the cost of ownership can be very high in a Dogo Argentino dog, and a lot of people don't think about that. Well, number 7, a biggie, is aggression. They are designed to hunt dangerous game like boar and puma, and any dog that is able to successfully fight a boar or a puma, now these are a catch dog, so they are latching on and holding and using their body weight to drag that animal down and wear it out. It is very dangerous work. They are much more likely to have a innate aggression in them that you need to appropriately curb and train through ongoing training, exhaustive exercise, and socialization. But if you've had a puppy and you've basically done nothing with the puppy hits sexual maturity, and suddenly your cute, cuddly puppy has its adult personality, and it's like, hey, I don't like that dog over there. I don't like that person over there. I don't like this situation. And they start manifesting aggression, and aggression can be very dangerous in a Dogo Argentino. If you do not know, there are certainly cases of extremely bad aggression problems with dogs, aggression that can cause the dog to be unstable in its temperament, that can be turned towards your family, particularly children, because in a pack orientation, they want to be the top of the pack. It's normal. That is what they are genetically programmed to do. And if you haven't instilled training and socialization, if you're not experienced, if you're not willing to get professional help, it could be a problem. And I never ever recommend that you keep a dog in your home if it is shown violent aggression towards your children, towards your family members. If it's bitten somebody, I really think that at that point, you really need to look into surrendering that dog, because unfortunately, there have been cases of fatal maulings with Dogo Argentinos. I don't like to sugarcoat things. That is the reality of this breed. If that scares you, if you're like unprepared to handle that, don't get a Dogo, because that is a reality of this dog. Does every dog do that? No, absolutely not. Many Dogos are the kindest, sweetest dogs you'll ever meet. But there are a percentage of dogs that are extremely aggressive. And generally, I find that that is the human's fault. The human didn't train it. The human doesn't recognize behavior, but it is out there. And that is a reason that people will end up surrendering Dogo Argentinos. 8, too many dogs. They've got too many dogs. They already have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dogs in their house, and they're like, what's one more? And they don't realize that this isn't that kind of dog. This is a dog that's going to require so much investment, and in return for that investment, you're going to get a dog that's intelligent, a dog that appropriately guards your home, appropriately guards your family. I'm not talking about overt aggression. I'm talking about a dog that only resorts to that when the situation calls for it. But if you already have a whole lot of animals, adding one more might not be what you think. You might think, it's barely anything. I'm already doing all this work. And it turns out that it's actually a ton more work. So having too many animals and then having the wrong mix of animals. A lot of times, if you like breeds that are guardian breeds, if you like large dogs, a lot of people will try to stick large dominant dogs together like Cane Corsos and Dogos and try to raise them, and it doesn't work out, and so they've got too many animals. That's a big reason for surrender. Number 9, allergies. Now you may think, why would you get a dog if you have allergies? Well, the truth of the matter is that sometimes allergies in a human develop over time. They're not immediately apparent. In the same way that allergies can develop in the Dogo Argentino dog over time, and they're not instantly apparent. So another way that allergies might come into play is if you're single and you meet somebody and you make a commitment to build a relationship and that person has allergies, or say your partner's child has allergies and that was not something that you imagined to be an issue for you. Number 10, the big reason, lack of information. I don't know what it is about the United States, but it seems like there is a lack of information about the Dogo Argentino dog, and it causes problems. People don't know what they're getting into. You know, they sign on to this dog, which is so smart and so cute and so beautiful, and then they don't realize that this dog also needs to have an outlet, which is why so many people believe in hunting. The dog needs that kind of outlet to burn its energy, to burn off its mental energy as well as its physical energy. So lack of information is a big problem. Now, I congratulate you if you've made it to the end of this video. You are trying to get information about the Dogo Argentino dog. But as the now largest Dogo Argentino educational YouTube channel, I am inundated with requests every day from audience members. So many requests, I can't even get to them all because a lot of them are so in depth it would literally take me hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of my free time to work out their issues, and sometimes they're just not possible to be worked out unless I'm physically present and actually observing what's going on. A description is not good enough. So unfortunately, sometimes people will describe something and they'll be like, I have a red rash, what is it? That is not enough information to provide useful insight. If you're like, this dog growled, what is it? That is not enough information. Sometimes you have to be physically present, but you are looking for information, and I congratulate you on that. So these are the main reasons that people are going to give up Dogo Argentino dogs. There is a massive wave of Dogo Argentino dog surrenders happening right now. If you want to donate, please consider donating to DC Dogos Rescue. They are a nonprofit, and they have lots of dogs that they are rescuing all the time with lots of special needs. Sometimes they're deaf, sometimes they're heartworm positive. I just recently made a $500 donation to them. You might have seen it on my community channel. I do encourage you to donate if you're in the financial position to do so. If you have done your research, if you are totally prepared, I also urge you to consider adopting if you are in the position to do so. But do realize DC Dogos is extremely picky on who adopts their dogs. So why are they picky? Because they don't want another surrender. This dog has already been surrendered once. They don't want it surrendered twice. It's damaging to the dog's psyche, and it is not good for you. So do realize that they have extremely high standards regarding getting a Dogo Argentino dog from them. But if you are the right home, they are more than happy to help you. So hopefully that gives you some reasons why people end up surrendering these beautiful dogs. If this video was good for you, I hope that you will please consider giving me a subscription. It helps our channel grow. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit that bell for notifications. As always, guys, thank you for your time and attention. Have a Dogo-tastic day.